on to this one. And so guys, welcome to today's tutorial. I'll be using this fabric to make a simple little dress, just 2 yards. Okay, so let's grab the upper body. Sorry, please, because of the noise from my end here, I'll have to go mute at some point to avoid distraction. But if you guys think it's not too bad, let me know, please. So, this child is about 4 or 5 years, and these are my measurements. This is a chest line of 6 inches, 6 inches for chest line, and the waistline is 11 inches, which could actually go for like 10.5 inches or 10 inches. But I just I love it this 11 inches, but 10.5 is not bad. Okay, then for the neck, most time I use 2.5. You can use 2 or 2.5 for that age. Then the shoulder I measure is 10. That would be 5. And add half for ease. Then I'll come down. With a child, so I can just come down by maybe ½ inch or 3/4 inch. So let's cut it this way. Then another thing for the armhole, mostly from this chest line, just go up by like 1 inch or ½ inch. So let me go by 1 inch. So whatever I have here, I have 5.5. Let's put the 5.5 here. To draw the straight line. So same thing. And if you can use your ruler to get something simple like this, it's fine. Okay, so now the body measurement, the bust round. And you know, for this age, mostly their bust round or the chest round and the waistline is mostly the same thing. So the measurement I'll be using for the bust round here is 23. So divided by 4 will give you 5 and a quarter. 5 3/4 rather. So this is where the 5 3/4 is. So another thing I use as yardstick is anytime I'm doing this kind of measurement and the bust round is not up to the shoulder, the armhole, that means I have to reduce my shoulder. That's my own, and it's really working for me. So assuming the chest round I'm measuring is 5 and it end up here instead of somewhere around here, then I know I need to adjust my shoulder. So this one I can still work with this because I'll still add its allowance. So I'll be adding half as its allowance before adding my seam allowance of 2 inches or 1.5. Anyway, so whatever I have here, which is 8 1/4, I'm bringing it here. 8 1/4. Okay. So another thing is the neckline, the neck depth now. You don't want something that is too tight. Trust me, it's a child. If it's too open, they can wear something. The mother can wear something inside. So we can do about 3.5. So 3.5 for the neck depth and 2.5 for the neck width. Okay, so this is it. This is all about the pattern for me. So I'll use the same one to cut both front and back. The only thing for the back is I'm going to add half-inch allowance, 1 inch allowance for zipper. I'm going to add zipper allowance. So you can either transfer it to another paper or um we just cut it out on the fabric like that. I need to draw a straight line because I love to work with accurate figures. When I'm marking 1 inch, zipper allowance. this is what I have. So for the neckline now, you can be as deep as this. So I'll use 1.5 or 2. So let me use 1.5. Okay. Okay, so I've cut out the neckline for the back. Let me cut out the one for the front properly now. Okay, so I have a question here. Let me check. Please, how to get shoulder to shoulder formula if someone didn't take the measurements and arm holders for adults? Okay, ma, thank you for joining in. The shoulder to shoulder measurement for adults, mostly average, as in for average height, is about 14 inches. Okay, yes, because it depends on the body size. Depends on the body size. Somebody might not really have big, okay, some have broad shoulders and all of that. So, but mostly between 14 and 15 inches to me is the average for adults. So in case you didn't take the person, you didn't check the particular person's own, you can ask for a picture or somebody that looks like that person. But if you can't cope with those ones, just use the average, highest 14 to 15 inches. Then the armhole, formula for armhole is the bust round divided by 4. Bust round divided by 4. Sorry, what am I saying? For armhole is bust round divided by 6 plus 1.5. Bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. That's the formula for armhole. And since I've been using this method, it has not failed. It's accurate. Okay, so I hope I've answered your questions, ma. Kate Okolo. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce the name well. Okay, so that is it. So guys, we are done with the pattern. Okay, almost. Then if it were to be adult, on this waistline we might want to remove something to avoid bulging here. So being a child, I will just go with half inch because I'm going to add belts. I hardly soak it well without belts because it's the belt that will give it that firmness. Because trust me, if you are to sew children's clothes with their actual measurements, it will not last. Kids grow so fast. So if you keep using their actual measurement, it might not really, the clothes will not last. So I always add extra allowance to children's clothes. Yes, I always add extra allowance. And through that, I will now use belts. Okay? With the shoulder slope or without shoulder slope. No, man, you see, it's after you've measured the actual. Sorry, I'm still answering this question. It's after you've measured the shoulder that you will now come down by 1 inch, which is for shoulder slope for adults. So you have to measure your shoulder to shoulder measurement first before the slope. So you have to do the slope too. Okay? So this is the front pattern and the back pattern. Please guys, feel free to ask me any questions, please. I'll be using this beautiful print. This Ankara or African print, whatever I call it, or Atampa. So I'll fold it Okay, you're welcome, ma. I hope you are cleared. Please, if you have more questions, feel free to ask me. Then another thing is just for clarity, because this same pattern I just wrapped it now, I can as well just do it directly on the fabric. It's as simple as that. So it's for the sake of the video that I have to do it on paper for clarity. So remember, kids wear from the chest line, just go up by 1 inch or half inch in order to create the armhole. I hardly calculate armhole for children. So I've pinned it down. So I'm going to add half inch. Like I said, please pardon me for background noise. My store is in an open place, and presently there's a church program going on close by. So okay, like I've got another question. So bust 44, how many inches to use for shoulder to shoulder? A bust of 44, I think it will actually be within the range of that 14 inches to 15 inches. So if you know these clients, if you know this client in particular, does she have broad shoulder? Maybe the client is just busty without a really broad shoulder. So you can use between 44. Then let's go with 15 inches. Yes, I think we can use 15 inches for the shoulder to shoulder. 15 inches should be fine. A bust of 44. Yeah. Obviously, you can use 15 inches. I hope that's clear, ma. So with this, we are done with the upper body. So for the down part, I'll be using gathers. And you know, kids' clothes is more beautiful when it's full. So if it were to be assuming the adult waistline is 36, I'll measure that 36 times 3 in order to get my gathered down part. So this clip now that is 20.